Morning guys, Martin back with the CarCast. I'm knackered. It's the only way of putting it. If this had been recorded any earlier than this, I probably would have had my eyes shut while I was driving. I don't remember being in work the last 3 days. So we had the Northwest Open. It was brilliant. It really was absolutely brilliant. It's just really tiring. I haven't played competitive 40k for a good while now. I think I've only played competitively once since 7th edition came out, and even that was that was 12 months ago, and it was a Throne of School, so it's a different type of competitiveness and so on. And then before that, it was at least a year before that since I played competitively then. So it was crazy, and it was some great lists there, really good turnout. Sold 38 tickets, 2 unfortunately didn't make it, so there was 36 players. And I'll take that, nearly 2/3 of the capacity on the first event, which was an unknown thing. I'll take that. I think we'll sell out the next one. To the point where on next week's CarCast, well, in fact I can announce it now, so January, I forget the exact date, I think it's the 13th, 14th, which is the weekend around the 13th of January, is the next one, and it'll be the last chance open, because it's your last chance from a UK perspective to get points for Vegas. Yeah, so 36 turned up. I finished 22nd. I lost my first game because I didn't know my opponent's army. Didn't realise that Dark Angels, Speeder Squad all have Interceptor, and as a result it just took mine out to the sky. Well, as my drop pods came in, he just destroyed things, and if it was known, I'd have deployed 4 or 5 inches further away, but I didn't, and so be it. Still a good game. Second game, so that was against Dark Angels. Second game went up against Dadmech, and that was really fun. He had an Imperial Knight and a Tech Priest Dominus, who went base to base contact and took the Knight down to 1 wound. The Priest wouldn't die, he just kept making his feel no pains, shooting all sorts of melter into him, and then he went base to base, and I said, right, what does this do then? He said, well, on a 6 he gets D6 all points back on it. On a 4 or 5, I think it was, he got D3. On a 2 or 3 he gets 1, and on a 1 he loses 1. I was like, you're going to roll a 1 then, aren't you? Sure enough, rolls a 1, Knight blows up, loads of fun. It was good fun, to be fair. And then, so I won that one. Then I went in and played against Chris Tootle's 4 Demon Princes. There's a name for it and I forget now what it's called, but they all sort of buff off each other, and if he could have picked the perfect rolls, then he would have picked what he rolled, and he was so apologetic. And Chris, I don't know whether you watch these or not, but if you do, then still, mate, stop apologising, don't worry about it, it was funny. So he ended up with a Khorne Demon Prince that became a Mastery level 1 Psyker, rolling on the Zeech table. I was just like, say what now, they all had iron armour and invisibility, and I literally didn't stand a chance. And he caused that much pain by the end of both of our turn 1s that it was just, it wouldn't have been worth carrying on. So we went and had a beer. Chris then carried on to have many more beers. So that was game 3 for the day, which finished the day off. Guys all went out and had drinks. I went Nando's with them. Fortunately I rolled a 4 up on a dice, which meant I was allowed to go home because I was too tired. I was falling asleep at the bar. Came back on the Sunday. There was only 1 casualty, didn't turn up, so Ace had to jump in and even the numbers out on top, on bottom table, and he was equally hungover himself, which was good because they all went out and had a good night out in Southport, and they all seemed to have a good laugh, which is what we want. But beginning of day 2, I faced an Eldar, Dark Eldar Harlequin trio. Nice conversions. There was a Glotkin there, there was a Wraith Knight, and I mean, they all looked like Dark Eldar, but obviously there was an Autarch and a Farseer. There's no Archon. And to be fair, Rich was a bit bit unlucky. His dice roll was absolutely terrible, and mine was absolutely spot on. And it got to a point of inevitability where we rolled to see if the game went on, knowing that if it went on, I won. I won on max points, and that's what happened. But again, good game, and some nice conversions in the army. And then I went into my final game against Gerard from Holland. Now, he had some crazy AdMech looking conversions that were actually tap. So it was 3 Riptides, Storm Surge, Commander Unit, and then he had an Inquisitor with Servo Skulls. And he said from the off, his army list was literally designed to counter my army. Not mine personally, but my style of army, the Space Marine bike army that's so popular at the moment. So I couldn't scout forward because of the Servo Skulls, and it literally it took me out of the game. I seized the initiative, but I made the mistake and I chose to bring in my Skyhammer Annihilation in turn 2. And by doing that, the reason for doing that was because all his 3 Riptides had Interceptor, and I thought, well, I've been blown up once by Interceptor, I don't want to do it again. But I suppose then at least he wouldn't have been able to no overcharge, he wouldn't have got the double shots. Hindsight, I should have potentially sacrificed the Skyhammer, and who knows, I might have survived it. Pass. But my turn 1, I did nothing. I took his void. Oh, sorry, he had a void shield generator as well. So the scouts got rid of the void shield generator, which was brilliant. But they managed to do that, and then I did nothing else. I think I took a wound off a Riptide. Again, he was making his invulnerables and his feel no pains, and then he unleashed a volley of death upon me, and 2/3 of my army disappeared. I think I had the only melter that I had left was 2 attack bikes, one of which had a wound on it, and my librarian had gone, Kasoro Khan had gone. So yes, I could have brought my Fire Raptor in, yes I have made drop pods, but I was that far up against it, there was nothing I was going to be able to do against. I could not repel fire of that magnitude. Yeah, I went there. And so I gave him the game, because I was absolutely shattered. It was the end of a long week, and rather than dragging his game out and getting crushed, I gave him the win. And it's not like me, seriously guys, I was done it. But yeah, so that was my games. The winner was Conrad, who won the London GT, and he won with his Taudar list. There was quite a few heavy Riptide lists, because ITC does lend itself towards that kind of list. Second place, to be fair, was a battle company, I think it was a Demi company, White Scars. And that was a local guy, Dan Green, he's only from St Helens down the road. Third place, Sean, and I think he had the war combo, but I can't remember. All the lists eventually will go up, the final standings are all up on the Northwest Open page, and I've now spent 8.5 minutes talking about it, because it was just that good. Everything went really smoothly, we've learned loads from it, yet everybody seemed to like it. The food was absolutely stunning, but there wasn't enough of it, and there was nothing with it. So there was no chips, there was no bread rolls or anything with it. It was just pie, or just what do you call it, sausage casserole. And then it was the same the next day, which we'll do something different with that next time. It was a really hot weekend, and we had doors and windows open where we could, and it wasn't unbearably hot. It's not like some places I've been into where like literally it's like walking out of an air conditioning building when you're on holiday. It wasn't that bad, but we need some fans just to circulate the air around a little bit more. I can't put aircon in because it's a listed building, so we learnt that. Clean the toilets more often. Doesn't matter whether you ask people to please respect the toilets, it seems that grown men are incapable of flushing toilets and keeping them clean. So I can moan about it, and I can ask people, but it'll always baffle me that, and being surprisingly a man myself, I always flush the toilets after me, and I always leave it clean, unless I go to it and it's a mess. I'm not going to clean someone else's mess up, but then generally speaking I go to the next one. and the amount of times the staff were going in and there was a log in the bog, or there was pee all over the floor, and I'm just like, it's as if people go out the way to mess it up. Anyway, so we just need to keep on top of the cleaning. The bar service needs to be organised better from my point of view. There was no problems with it for the players, but the staff were knackered because they were running up and down stairs. I think we just need to put some better organisation, maybe another fridge on the first floor so that soft drinks are in there and they're not having to run down to the shop, bum bags with change and what have you. But it was great. The awards ceremony was great. Everybody was made up with the prizes and surprised by the prizes. Conrad, who won, he passed comment to me when he won £150 worth of store credits, and he bought a load of GW stuff, surprisingly. And when he was putting it through the sale, I was like, oh, you happy with what you've got and everything? He goes, mate, he said, thank you for your generosity. I was like, no, what part of your ticket price covers? It's an all-in thing. Yes, it's more expensive than Cali, but it's a different atmosphere than Cali, and everybody, well, not everybody, but the majority of people who I spoke to said that it had genuinely had the best atmosphere of any tournament they've been to, because there was a good mix of players. There was new players who by game 3 were only playing new players, and it all just, the way Swiss does it, just cut the wheat from the chaff, and it sort of, it put people where they should be. So everybody won a game, and that's the most important thing. Nobody didn't win a game. There was a wooden spoon given out to Rick Martin, and that was in close contention between him, Joe and Hayden, I think it was. Best player, one of the Geeks 40k, Robin, he got best player. Rich from Geeks 40k, he got 2 of the best painted nominees. Mark Cromwell from the ETC circuit, he got Forces of Good, because he had the best single codex, highest placed single codex for the Good faction. Lawrence from Tabletop Tactics got highest placed Evil faction with his Dark Eldar. And again, that goes to show. So I mean, don't get me wrong, Lawrence is an accomplished player, but he took Dark Eldar, which is classed as one of the lowest tier. It's down there with Orcs and Chaos Space Marine guys, and it came, I think he came 5th in the whole thing, but he placed highest out of all the evil play, like the evil forces. So that's really well done. Hats off to Lawrence for it. Yeah, it was just a great day. I'm now 12 and a half minutes in and I'm still talking about it. That's how much I enjoyed it. The bad side to it was, God, it was tiring. Getting things finished, getting things painted, getting the halls finished, but it's done now. So you're going to see a different me hopefully in the future CarCast. I can sit back and relax a bit more because I'm just chilled out now. We can hold anything. We've got all the tables ready, we've got all the mats in place. Yeah, we need terrain for different games, and we've still got a lot to do in the shop, but there's no pressure on sort of, oh, it's got to be done for this and this. We've held the biggest wargaming tournaments that we're going to hold, so we're ready for it. We're ready for the next one in January. But yeah, it was brilliant. Moving on from that, other things. So it's been that busy week. Everything was about the Northwest Open, so there's not much else to report in. War Machine tournament is getting some good numbers. I think we're up to about 14 now for it, which for a local War Machine tournament is quite good. It'd be nice to hit 20. Tickets for that are only £10 because it's only a very localised thing. That there's, it's not a big event with lots of prize support and everything else behind it. That one's coming in September. But by all means, if you want to test out Mark III War Machine, then that's on the 6th of August. So I think that's a week Saturday, 2 weeks Saturday. Well, my mind's still fried. But yeah, for just a tenner, you come and have a few games over the day, couldn't you? Have some fun. Check it out. It's on Facebook. It's on the War Machines Warmer Horde Northwest group as well. So Phil's running that, and it's going well by the looks of it. The guys are happy with the new rule set. So yeah, that's running. Magic's moving forward. So I've already had to pre-order my Kaladesh, or Kaladesh, however it's pronounced, which comes out at the end of September. Rotates 2 sets out. In the meantime, people are loving Eldritch Moon. Got plenty of singles for sale, and yeah, so that's cracking on nicely. temporary bloody traffic lights. So yeah, that's cracking on nicely, and it's all just going well. The store's doing well. I'm regaining sleep somewhere along the line. Website, I can now start looking at it. Northwest Open's out the way, so let's start looking at the website. I need to go and find a web designer. I don't know anyone. I'm not being recommended anyone, so I'm just going to have to go and put the feelers out for a few different people and get some quotes together. And I just need to get this bloody thing sorted. So my aim is to have a fully functioning website by September, which gives me about 6 weeks. If I say the end of September, actually, then that gives me more like 9 weeks, and that should be plenty of time. But whatever happens, this has to be in place, even if it's on a crappy little site. I've got to have an up and running web store before we start moving into Christmas, because September, October is when people start buying Christmas presents, and if I haven't got the right presents, then I'm going to I'm going to miss out. So it's got to happen. But again, I've got the time to devote to it now, so hopefully that will work. I feel like there's something else I was meant to mention and I keep forgetting it. Mine's gone blank. Thanks to everybody who checked out TNG Productions, and so they got some good new subscriptions and stuff from there, and they're putting more and more content out, which is great. Georgie, who is the G from TNG, she now works for us, so she works weekends for us. She's a good new member to the team, and you will probably see more social media coming from us, because Georgie's going to do a little bit with that, especially the likes of Instagram and such. I don't understand Instagram and Twitter, they just make no sense to me, so she's gonna do that side of it, which is fine. And then I've got to compile a montage video together of the Northwest Open and get that up. And Oasis is going to put his up as well next week. He's away on holiday this week. Lawrence from Tabletop Tactics has got some feed to put out. Ali, one of the guys who came down from Scotland, has made a music video which I've yet to watch. I'm going to watch that hopefully when I get to the shop. And the Geeks 40k, great seeing them again. Glad they won some prizes. They've got some footage that'll hopefully be up in the next day or two, and they're going to come back up for a game. Lawrence said he's going to try and get up for a game. We're going to get the studio set up to start recording. There's a point. That's a question to leave you with. I always try to leave you with something to have to write comments about. So if you've got to this point of the video, Twitch and Facebook Live. Apparently Facebook Live's a thing. I only heard about this yesterday, so I need to look into it. But we're going to set some webcams up around the store, where we can stream the finals or just the unfolding of the day of tournaments that we're running. And it might be that we just film just regular people just playing games of a daytime or whatever. You can just, I don't know, there's nothing stopping us just doing a live 24-hour, well not 24-hour, but live stream while the shop's open, so you can just log in at any point and see what's happening in the shop. Maybe that's the thing. Do you think that's a good idea? Do you think it's better to just have it focused on tournament games, or do you think if people are playing a casual game, we set the camera up and we ask them if they're alright showing it? And it won't be anything special, it will just be a camera with some audio, filming it basically, streaming it. Might be a thing. What do you know about Facebook Live? Tell me. Talk to me. I'm going to get off at that point because we're hitting 20 minutes, and that's about my cut. And I shall speak to you guys soon though, yeah? See you next week. Thanks for watching, guys.